What is the greatest tech scam in history? Hello, I'm Chris Tennis. I'm a KMP developer. Tech support said they're coming out for sure on Tuesday to close that thing up. Today I'm going to be reacting to this redesign post, which I'm going to give a like and subscribe to. You should too, about the greatest tech scam in history. Let's see what this is all about.
Devon is an AI that was advertised to be able to replace every software engineer in existence as a complete AI tool for coding. And while it terrified software engineers when it was first announced, people quickly started to realize that it either didn't work as intended or didn't work at all. In fact, the only thing actually surprising was that the company behind Devon AI, Cognition, managed to reach a $2 billion valuation within 6 months. So how
Look at
exactly
that. So they lied. Because it's been almost a year now, and this should have been, the whole industry should be completely decimated. All we have is this economic issue that they're blaming the AI on. That's kind of coming out to an end because people are like realizing that this AI thing ain't doing what it says doing. So yeah, they got a market valuation for lying to people who only know about Netflix streaming, sci-fi scenarios, and they sure enough tell them all the objectionable talking points to get the money coming in to keep the scam going so they can cash out with billions. If it wasn't billions on the line, I'd be like, okay, I'll give them more slack. But because it's just money and these people are just liars and there's like, they don't retract, they don't talk about it, they don't come back, they don't respond to any of this stuff. Just, nope, it was what we knew at the time. We thought it was going to be a software engineer and it wasn't, but it's not our fault. Right.
Cognition AI managed to reach such a huge valuation with a product that was half-baked? How does Cognition even exist?
How do any of these companies exist?
Cognition Labs claimed Devon AI...
Because there's a bunch of people who are super dumb and don't understand how all this stuff works and don't want to look into it. They just want to get on the bandwagon, just like in the .com bubble, just like in all the other bubbles, all the real estate bubble. They just want to get in. They don't want to know how the sausage is made. They don't know where the money's coming from or how. All they know is their friend got rich. Maybe, who knows? Their friend said they got rich, and now I want to get rich. So where do I put my money? Do I put it all in Devon and Cognition?
AI could replace human software engineers. Within weeks, they raised $175 million.
Scott Wu, human software engineer, human scam artist, extreme. This guy with the Coke bottle guy, he's he's the best programmer ever. He replaced all programmer. Really? No walk back. No, hey, we made a mistake here, or we kind of maybe exaggerated a little bit. No, my name is Scott Wu. I am a master programmer. I replace all programmer. Really? Is that what you're gonna do? And everybody believed them. We're like, oh my God, fire all the developers. We're for $200 a month. Scott Wu is gonna replace everybody you know and all the developers, and we're gonna be in a whole new era of AI overlord, software developer kings. We're gonna replace Facebook overnight.
And reached a $2 billion valuation. This scared the pants off every software developer in the world.
Well, because the hype, we had never seen such lying at the levels that they were lying at, and the amount of kayfabe and the amount of tomfoolery and the amount of faking they were doing, and how all these demos were completely faked from the top to the bottom. Didn't even do what they said. They said, it's doing this over here. It's like doing something completely else on the screen, but average person has no idea. They're just like, I better get in on this on the ground floor. Scam.
Facing imminent jobless anarchy, no one knew what to do until results started showing that Devon wasn't all that it was propped up to be.
Shock. Well, another hype technology that some startup company, they come in with smiling faces and Coke bottle guy says, we're going to solve all your problems with development. People go, really? Because I got a lot of problems with development. Oh, really? Do we actually know all your problems? Wow, they know all the objections ahead of time. That's amazing how they knew all your objections and had answers for all of them. And the answer was, you better get in on this. It's going to take off without you. We're going to fire all the developers. You'll be holding the bag. It's like, they could fire all the developers. They would not be advertising or selling this product. They would be going, no, you don't get the access to the tool. You pay us and we should do the tool and we take over your whole system. Here you go. Here's Devon. Go for it.
YouTube channel, Interest of Bugs, spent 3 weeks analyzing every frame of cognition.
He's a hardcore motherfucker to go through the 3-week process. All I can look at this and go, no, I don't think so. And this guy's like, this is my favorite guys. He's like, goes into all the details, and I was like, nope, this is all crap. These guys are lying. Oh, you talk somebody over there. If I just get a hold of somebody on the phone over there, we can just clear some of this up. It's like, you're not understanding what's going on. I know it's because older guys like Interest of Bugs, before the big push to money came, we were involved with the computer industry before that, and we still kind of think it's like that. It's not. It's this other thing now, and it's been difficult for me to accept that this change has happened, where there's so much lying going on. But to look at billions of dollars of valuation just for selling some lies. And some cultures, I just want to point this out, some cultures have no problem with scamming and lying and cheating and stealing. It's part of, their cultures find that to be clever and to be, you're going out on a limb, you're doing some amazing stuff here because they don't have the same moral basis. So it's like when we see people, when these companies come out and they say these shocking things like they're going to replace software engineers, it's shocking to people who are from a Western mindset because we don't like yes, there's a scamming thing that's come in, but the basis of Western culture was not this scamming shit. It was not. We're not supposed to be doing that. That was not what made this. That's what not made Western culture what it is for scamming and lying and cheating. Yes, there's been a lot of that throughout the whole thing, but that's not what made the thing. People get on board with it. It was not the scamming levels. But other cultures, they don't have that tradition because they didn't go through all the stuff that Western cultures went through, where we had some success by not scamming people. They haven't had that yet. They don't know what that is. So all they see is the scamming. And they go, oh, well, this is how we do. We just do scamming, and we pay off politicians, we pay lawyers, and we just do class action lawsuits after we collect the billions?
Promotional videos revealing a carefully orchestrated deception. Their investigation exposed specific manipulation techniques. First, the live coding.
No reaction. None of these people respond to any of this stuff. It's like, hey, man, we see that you're trying to scam and lie to everybody. It's like, no, we're not. But how about responding to some of these claims that people have made? Like, these are serious. This is not hard stuff to figure out. And you're like, no, never heard of it. Don't know anything about it. No, we're worth $2 billion. Our name's Cognition, and we have a computer scientist that's so good. He's got rid of all the computer scientists. Really? That's really what you think? That we're just falling for that to keep going? And he's like, no. Oh, yeah, 5 years from now, it's like, oh, yeah, they lied. They were just embezzlement. And people were just paying off politicians here and there. And, oh, yeah, it's terrible. We will never happen again, though. We have laws and regulations in place now to make that not happen.
Demonstrations were heavily edited. In one sequence where Devon appeared to debug code in minutes, timestamp analysis revealed 47-minute gaps between cuts. The YouTuber overlaid the original video with git commit timestamps, showing how a 10-minute fix actually took over 4 hours. The channel also discovered that Devon's celebrated bug fixes were staged. In the demo video, Devon appears to fix
all this. So if actually what they had was true, they wouldn't have to do any of this. None of this would even be part of it at all. The fact they're doing even one of these things is proof that they're all scamming. Scam. And people are like, oh, the AI that I saw in the Netflix series stream that I binged last week is all about this. This is crazy. We're living in the future.
Complex integration issues, but the code repository's history showed these bugs were artificially introduced just before recording. As one section revealed, Devon was fixing syntax errors in files it had created moments before, equivalent to creating a spelling mistake just to show you can correct it. Most damning was the upward earnings claim.
This is the one thing after another. It's like, look, man, they wouldn't even release this to let people even try it if they really had people, a machine that could replace people, like programmers. If you really had that, you're not going to give it to the general public. You would use that to control the society. And maybe that's really what the secret is. All these are little glimpses of what this other thing that's running all this stuff, that's running all these crazy programs and all this lying and cheating and stealing and like, oh no, it's normal. This is Western culture. This is how it's about. No, it's not.
Out of bugs tracked down the actual upward.
It's not what made it great. Lying and cheating and stealing and telling people like lies. No. Yes, there's been a lot of that happening, especially after the fiat currency got introduced. Anytime there's this fiat money system, all bets are off at that point. And then you start killing people and thinking that's just a legitimate way of how running a society is murdering people. Oh, okay. So when that went off the rails, when we got away from honesty and science and logic and like actual science where you can give it to somebody else and they can check it and make sure it's the real thing. Once we got away from that stuff and got this scamming thing coming in, these cultures that are totally fine with scamming and like have no problem with it at all, and think you're fucking a fool for believing them. Well, what do you think's gonna happen?
Posting and client feedback, revealing that not only was Devon's submission rejected, but the client had specifically noted submitted work appeared to be AI generated and didn't meet basic requirements.
Correct.
The $150 payment Cognition claimed Devon earned never actually happened.
Lies.
The upward
See,
task was
all lies. And they haven't come back and changed because this is it's part of their way they do business, the way they do culture, how they run things. And because the Western culture has gotten away from it, they're all thinking, well, you're doing it. You're lying. You're cheating, you're stealing, you're telling people who don't have any way to defend themselves, you're tell them to put their life savings into this thing and you're going to make $1 billion. And it's a total lie from the top to bottom. The $1 billion is just for them with their $1 billion valuation. What do you think all that stuff is? Come on now.
straightforward. Set up a computer vision model on AWS.
Liars.
The solution was right there in the README file, a single line of instructions. Think of it like having a recipe card for baking cookies, but instead of following the recipe, Devon tried to invent a new way to bake cookies, broke the oven, then spent hours trying to fix it.
Correct.
The reality
And that's a lot of developers do that too, without knowing all the things that needs to, without knowing the requirements, what actually needs to happen. Most of programming is figuring out what we need, what needs to be done, why, what are we doing? Not there's a new way. Like we just want the old way done right, not a new way. AI's gonna give us the new way. No, it ain't.
a simple task
Don't
that took
fuck
a
it
human
all
developer
up.
36 minutes took Devon over 6 hours to complete, and it still failed. Speaking of, thanks so much for all the support on the channel lately. It really means you're an app developer, freelancer, or just a curious viewer for us, and want to make this find some jobs in the future. Prevention, mouse movements during supposed autonomous coding sessions, keyboard shortcuts no AI would use, and even a brief reflection of a human coder in a darkened IDE window, all pointing to significant human assistance during the demos.
Yes. These current set of AI tools, they will fill out some of the details, but you got to know the whole context of what we're trying to do, how we're trying to do it, and if these things are useful or not. They're old. It's a new way of doing it. It's a new API. Is that a buggy way to do it? All that shit, man. They're not doing any of that. The AIs are not doing any of that right now. Maybe they will in the future. Who knows? Just getting the API. Okay, just getting which API works with which operating system, works with what libraries that are all compatible. That would be a useful use of AI. Could you go please tell me, can I use these things together? And if I can't, what do I need to change to use this particular one? I need this particular library to be used. Which versions of which of the files are all compatible with that? Can you go do that for me? Because that shit takes forever, man. And if you're on Android, it takes for fucking, that is the constant the whole time. Does it work? I don't know. We'll check it. Does it work with this? Does it work with that? I don't know. It does. Okay, well, it works on this one. Doesn't work on this one. Doesn't? It's like constant. It's totally. That's the job. It's not. Oh, can we make it? We make it look like Facebook? Yeah, we can. That's not hard. But to fix this thing with this particular thing, with this particular thing, with this particular thing, with this, and then is this even possible? Have anybody tried to do this before? That stuff we don't know. Like the AI has no clue. It's like I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Truth was simple, cherry picking. While Cognition Labs trumpeted
p hacking. It's all p hack. So they say, oh no, we have studies. Really? Can you reproduce the study? No, we p hacked the shit out of it. So it's impossible. You'd have to run this study about 55,000 times for us to get the data we got from this one random place.
a 13.86% success rate as revolutionary, they conveniently omitted the truth. Out of 570 coding tasks,
convenient. Oh, that's convenient. Hey, look, when there's billions of dollars on the line, and all you have to do is lie for a few months, and you get billions of dollars, don't you think there's going to be a fuck ton of people lying about every goddamn thing?
Devon failed
That's
every
where we're
single
in right
task
now.
that
That's where we're
required
in.
changes across multiple files, 95 in total. It also couldn't handle 230 tasks that needed more than 15 lines of code. The only tasks it managed to complete were simple, single-file changes, the kind of work developers already accomplish with free tools like ChatGPT. Even existing tools like GitHub Copilot, which doesn't claim to replace developers, helps complete 30% of developers' code on average and costs $10 monthly.
Yeah,
Way cheaper than Devon's overpriced, underperforming
And that's
system.
where it's at. And it's not going to get anything better than that. Until some major breakthroughs happen, which we have no sign of. If it was going to happen, it already happened by now. Because this Devon thing's been almost over a year. It's like what happened to Devon? Where'd it go? Oh, did people figure out his scam? Oh.
system. The success rate,
500
when
a
examined
month.
closely, revealed not a breakthrough, but basic functionality dressed up as innovation. This gap between hype and reality wasn't just embarrassing,
Standard.
it affected real decisions. Companies delayed hiring developers, thinking AI would soon
Absolutely.
replace them. Investors
Absolutely. So
poured
this is another insight about these corporations, how they really feel about you. So maybe you shouldn't be trying to put all your money and energy and time in these goddamn corporations. You get in there, figure out what they work, figure out the inefficiencies, and start doing it venture driven, because that's once they actually have these software developer AIs. Look at how they treated us immediately. And they're like, no, we're a family here. We really care about your career development. And the moment an AI comes, like, oh, get rid of them.
millions into similar startups without proper due diligence. Meanwhile, actual developers watching the demos immediately spotted red flags that investors missed. But okay, Devon AI was a failure, a lie, and a mirage. So how did a lie manage to raise $2 billion?
Has there been anybody else come? Has Devon even somebody? Hey, we might have exaggerated a little. We're sorry. No mea culpa. Just fuck you. Give us any refund? No, fuck you. No refund. Refund.
Let's break down the costs. A human developer completing the Upwork task in 36 minutes would cost about $30. Devon, taking over 6 hours and failing, would cost significantly more just in computational resources.
Or just
Even
in
using
time
Cognition's
dicking
own
with
pricing
it.
model, each successful task would cost hundreds of dollars, 10 times what you'd pay a skilled developer on Upwork. In 2024, venture capital firms were operating in the shadow of OpenAI's success. ChatGPT had transformed from a $1 billion company to a $90 billion giant in just 2 years. Every
money,
VC who had passed on
lies,
OpenAI's
lies,
early
money.
rounds was now desperately searching for their next.
Well, that's what exactly all this shit is. Ooh, who's the next one? Ooh, and I don't think these AI companies are like, don't understand the sales cycle, objections, where they're going to all these meetings and they hear the same exact thing over and over and over again. All I have to do is demo it, and then they get the investment.
ChatGPT, leading to what one investor called AI fever in Silicon Valley.
Oh, another AI fever? Oh, really? AI in Silicon Valley, AI fever. Another hype wave. Because of all the people that are just like, no, we're just in Silicon Valley. We just put a hype wave after hype wave after hype wave. Even if there's no technology there, all we have to do is say there is and put the fake demos and we get billions of dollars. I mean, come on. Who's not going to sign up for that?
Cognition Labs crafted their pitch to perfectly exploit VC psychology in 2024.
Absolutely.
Devon isn't just another coding assistant. It's the world's first complete AI engineer. It wasn't just a tagline. It was calculated to tap into tech's biggest pain point.
Anyone that was saying, no, they really got it. They really got it this time, guys. I had friends tell me this, and they're like, these are people are smart people. It's like, no, dude, these are not okay. They're gonna have a very nice demo simulation of this stuff, but when you get it in your hands, you try and do something with it, it's not gonna work. And they're like, no, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's like, not how they say, man. It's gonna do something like Copilot, which is pretty cool actually. It's pretty darn useful, but I have to know how everything works. I have to know the whole ecosystem and all this other stuff. These libraries all linking together. It has no clue about any of that stuff. Why wasn't it trained on that? That shit takes forever to figure out. And it's like, no, you have to figure that out on your own. It's like, wow, you're great help.
Engineering costs. Their claim that Devon could reduce 100-person engineering teams to just 10 promised to solve the industry's most expensive problem. With average software engineer salaries at $150,000, this suggested potential savings of $13.5 million per company annually. The market map.
Oh, look at all that money. That can be right in my pocket. Oh, okay, so you think that these companies, if they can replace these engineers, which takes fucking hardcore dedication just to get this shit working, you think they're just going to, get rid of the engineers, and the engineers aren't going to use these tools to create companies that will directly compete with their old company? You don't think that's a thing? Very naive.
Math was equally seductive. The global software development
All
market
sales. This is all for sales for ZCVC. This has nothing to do with the technology. The technology is just a screen to get a fucking pump and dump scheme. Holy crap, man. No, the technology and the business. It was like, no, dude. No.
At $500 billion. Capturing even 1% of that would mean $5 billion in revenue. By standard VC calculations, which valued AI companies at 12 times revenue compared to 3 times.
If all this stuff worked as is, it'd be worth trillions. Come on, man. This stuff would be worth trillions of dollars if it actually worked the way they said it did. They wouldn't sell it. It'd be that valuable. It would go to a state, some sort of state function thing, some sort of military dictator, some sort of. That's probably what's going on. If you really want to get down to it, that's really what's going on. We have this technology's been mastered 25 years ago, and it's running our society, and why it's so crazy.
for traditional software, this justified a $60 billion valuation. Suddenly, Devon's $2 billion valuation seemed conservative. This valuation logic was playing out across the AI sector.
no shit.
Character.ai reached $1 billion valuation.
Look at these guys. I just lie and make billions of dollars. Oh, look at me. I've got glasses on and I make $1 billion because I lied.
Chatbot technology generating revenue. Anthropic secured $4 billion for Claude,
thing.
despite its marginal improvements over GPT-4. In this environment, VCs weren't investing in current capabilities. They were betting on potential market capture in an industry desperate.
Sci-fi, binging, people that really should not have this money to start with because they're going to lose it all because this is lies. This is all based on lies. It's not real. And because we have this fake money system that gives people that really shouldn't deserve to make these decisions because they're not technically competent enough, they're not smart enough, are getting fooled, and we're they're scamming like crazy. Man, the 2020s are just the most intense scamming period of time I've ever lived through. It was just like, whoa. Wow.
To reduce engineering costs, traditional due diligence
Smart
processes
people getting kayfabed like crazy.
were compressed or ignored entirely. One anonymous VC partner admitted, after missing OpenAI's early rounds, firms were throwing money at anything with AI in the pitch deck.
So there it is. There it is. I can end the video right here. There it is. That's all you need to know. After these fools who got access to free money, who shouldn't really have access to this stuff because they're not technically competent and they're not business savvy enough to understand when they're being scammed, they deserve to lose the money. And I'm going to leave it there. I'll let you watch the rest of it. I think you get the basic idea. The shit's all scammed from top to bottom. And I don't know what to say about it. Other than use it for what it's good for and don't get caught up in the hype waves. Like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.